Welcome to this Arnold Culliford knitwear tutorial on joining shoulder seams with backstitch. This is a beautiful sweater by Natalie Warner from Something to Knit Together Winter Edition, and I've already joined the first shoulder seam with backstitch there, and you can see that it gives a nice sturdy seam that's not going to grow or slip down off your shoulders, and backstitch is how that was achieved. I've turned my sweater inside out and I've matched up the two shoulder seams with the right sides facing each other on the inside and the wrong sides outermost. I'm going to use the tail from my cast off edge, which I've left specifically quite long, and I'm going to thread that onto my tapestry needle. I always do that by folding the tail, helps it to go through more easily. And the trick we're going to use for our backstitch is that we're going to use the stitches as a kind of unit. So having threaded our tail on, the first thing to do is to move across by one stitch and go through both layers of fabric just below the cast on edge. We're then going to come back through the fabric at the very end, and that makes our first stitch on that side. We're now going to go across by two stitches, 1, 2, just under the cast on edge, and go straight through from front to back. And then we're going to come back by one stitch. And that's going to be our pattern all the way along now. We're going to go across 2 and then back 1. So 1, 2. And back by 1. And we'll continue to do that as we go across the edge. As I approach the step, I'm just going to take a slightly lower line, but still matching up the number of stitches. So across 2 and back by 1. And pulling it fairly firmly each time, just to make sure that the seam is really nice and solid. When you open it up, you don't want to see the stitches, you just want to see where the fabric is joined. So hopefully you can see that I'm getting just slightly lower down in the fabric as I go across here. And the aim is that when I come to the step that I'm already at the right level to be just underneath the cast on edge there. Sorry, cast off, bind off edge. Okay, and keep going 2 stitches across. One stitch back. And that's all there is to it. And as you continue down the shoulder seam, you can just drift a little lower at this end just to give a diagonal all the way down to slope the shoulders naturally. When you come to the end of the seam, just open it up before you weave in your ends and check that you're happy with how it looks from the right side. I am happy there. It's only if I really pull it that I start to see the stitches. It's sitting nice and naturally as it is. And all that remains is to weave in your ends. I hope you found it helpful to see how to work backstitch across shoulder seams. Do be sure to subscribe following the button at the bottom right-hand corner there. And if you'd like to find out more about any of our books that teach you new techniques with beautiful designs, then do click the link up top to visit our website. Thanks ever so much for watching. Bye-bye.